Move the microphone. Jeannie Greeley is Stuff Magazine's relationship and humor columnist. She has sniffed out foot fetish conferences, snuggled up with strangers at cuddle parties, measured the decline of D-cup bras, and even infiltrated the New England Patriots cheerleader tryouts, all in the name of responsible journalism. Her writing has appeared in the Boston Globe, the Boston Phoenix, MTV's Logo, and I am happy to call her both the funniest and sexiest lesbian that I know. Please give a warm welcome to Jeannie Greeley.
Everybody phones off, because I feel like that'll be the thing that puts me over the edge. So, these stools are like 75. All right, sorry. So, Carissa, I wanted to thank you for actually inviting me to perform here, because the last time that I performed at one of your events, like, at one point in the show, everybody that was over 50 stood up and walked out. And I was like, what I say? Because you were awesome. So, sticking with the theme of firsts, this piece is called My First Third World. The date is July 3rd, 2009. The location is Helsinki, Finland. The time is a total mystery to me. I am halfway to New Delhi when I plop down at an airport computer terminal and read this breaking headline: India decriminalizes homosexuality. The streets erupt in cheers of "Yay-ho!" as the country's queens bastardize the Slumdog Millionaire soundtrack, Jai-ho. It's a popular Indian expression that loosely translates to, "May victory be yours." And the country's gay citizens are certainly feeling triumphant. I email my mother the good news, reassuring her that I won't be burned in the streets. And oh, P.S. Mom, can you overnight my strap-on now that it's legal? You can't blame her for being nervous. I was traveling alone to the other side of the world to meet someone whose name she had never heard before. Friends, however, were less fazed when told I was headed to India to connect with a long-harbored crush. If there are two things I'll do anything for, they are sex and frequent flyer miles. But this journey was a more complicated mix of desperation and anticipation. I was desperate to free myself from the painful cycle of a past relationship, and I was curious to explore a woman who had lingered in my sightlines for nearly 2 years. When I finally started to get her in my clutches, she was escaping to India a week later to study medicine. I had no other choice but to invite myself and then try to locate India on a map. I have no business in India, that mythical subcontinent known for its curative and spiritual prowess. People go there seeking enlightenment. They go to deepen their yoga poses. They go to sweat out their sins and sorrows. When your skin burns in the din of a 100-watt light bulb and you think an ashram is a type of sweater, you visit Montreal, not Mumbai. Sure, I harbor the same romantic fantasies we all entertain before traveling to enchanting foreign lands. I can shave my head and beat a drum and get that dirty henna shit all over me. I'm not a total idiot. I have worshipped at the altar of Madonna. But as I stared down at the heaping pile of lingerie stuffed into my suitcase, I had to accept that my journey would be primarily sexual, with some faint spirituality sprinkled in. And I wasn't embarrassed to admit it. I was traveling 7,000 miles to the heart of religion for what I now dub the world's longest Buddha call. India, however, isn't exactly first date territory, especially for someone of my ilk. I'm a poster child for IBS, heading to a place that laughs off its insidious stomach illness as Delhi belly. Its July temperatures reach well into the hundreds, and I use sunscreen typically reserved for albinos. And curry sits like nails on my tongue. What if I hate her, I wondered, skulking around the New Delhi airport terminal waiting for her to arrive? What if she snores or chews with her mouth open or talks loudly to foreigners? Wait, what if she hates me? Don't worry, Jeannie, I said, trying to come up with a plan B. You can always call a friend in Pakistan. I did have one ace in the hole, knowing that she had spent her last month deep in the trenches of India's healthcare carnage. Most of her days were spent surrounded by southern Indians bloated from excessive rice intake or by lanky prostitutes rife with STDs. By comparison, after 26 hours of travel, I was going to show up looking like a bloated, lanky prostitute. Just as I was convincing myself that I am officially the most desperate human being in the world, I looked up and saw her. There she was, all dewy and olive-skinned, cutting a corridor through a herd of lumbering Indian cab drivers and heading straight toward me. In her linen pants and laced-up beaded sandals, she looked more Bollywood than Boston.